Sometimes in our lives, we encounter certain truths that make us more aware. We face the choice between changing or continuing to make the same mistakes, but now with the truth in hand. Today's video presents one of these situations. Before we proceed, I want to thank everyone who follows our work, as it's all possible because of each of you who likes, comments, and shares our videos. It's a great pleasure to be part of this community. With that said, let's confront these truths. Truth number 1, it's impossible for everyone to like you. If you think, believe, or strive to please everyone, you're inevitably setting yourself up for frustration. This truth, as you've likely heard before this video, raises the question, how seriously have you taken it? Criticism and judgment aren't limited to the microcosm of social media. They exist everywhere we interact, whether at work, with family, or at school, where people who barely know us might criticize or speak ill of us. We often forget that we are social beings. Our survival and well-being depend on our ability to create communities and rely on each other to thrive. In today's world of social media, many feel entitled to opine about our lives. Everyone seems to have an opinion on what we should do, dream, or pursue, often disregarding our efforts, achievements, or worth. Seeking acceptance from others for our well-being or confidence leads to a perpetual and endless cycle of frustration. Those around us often impose their views on us, not offering constructive criticism but dictating what they believe we can or cannot do. But consider this, in 150 years, none of what we experience today will matter, as none of us will be alive. So why base our lives on the opinions of people who hold no significance to us? We cannot emotionally depend on others' perceptions of us. Trying to please everyone is a sure recipe for frustration. Once we grasp this, it's crucial to process information differently. We often act to please others, doing our best to make everyone like us, which can lead us to condition our actions and behaviors based on their judgments. I'm not suggesting we completely disregard social conventions, like quitting social media or walking around naked on the street just because we feel like it. However, it's crucial to realize that our lives are often excessively shaped by others' opinions, which can be deeply harmful. Sometimes, we sacrifice our authenticity for an extra comment or like. Truth number 2, psychological egocentrism. Essentially, this refers to our tendency to seek approval from others. Let's delve into this a bit. Naturally, we are self-focused and generally care more about our own experiences than those of others. For instance, when something happens to someone else, we might see it as manageable, but if it happens to us, it can feel like an insurmountable drama. This phenomenon is well documented in science and biology, illustrated by a well-known phenomenon called cocktail party effect. Imagine you're at a party, having fun, and suddenly someone mentions your name. Even if they're not talking about you, just hearing your name grabs your immediate attention. This demonstrates how self-centered we are and how it influences our perception of social interactions. Many of our fears grow into mental monsters because of our concern about how we'll be perceived by others. Public speaking anxiety often stems from worrying about others' judgment, especially if we might hesitate or stumble. But the truth is, even if that happens, it doesn't impact others as much as we imagine. People are more focused on their own lives. Understanding that people are primarily focused on their own lives can be liberating. You're not the center of the universe to others, just as they're not to you. Think about it, do you remember your great-grandfather's name? Probably not, and in 150 years, few will remember you. This highlights how transient our concerns about others' opinions are. So, why worry so much about what others think when, in the long run, their opinions will have little impact? Focus on those who truly matter, those who will miss you when you're gone. Understanding this allows you to start freeing yourself from many unnecessary worries. It's liberating to reduce the importance of others' opinions in our lives. This enables you to be more authentic and less fearful of judgment. What I'm trying to explain is a fundamental truth. You should only concern yourself with the opinions of those who genuinely care about you. And even then, there's a subtle difference between caring and depending on them. Think about those who would miss you if you were no longer here, those who would truly be saddened. Do you remember everyone who has passed away? Probably not, because naturally, we focus more on those who are currently in our lives. So why worry so much about what others think? Consider this example. When you're in a bar observing people, many are engrossed in their phones, just waiting for their turn to speak. Most aren't truly listening to others because each is preoccupied with being the protagonist of their own life. That's the reality. No one is as invested in what you do as you imagine. Knowing this encourages you to stop missing out on opportunities due to unfounded concerns about others' opinions. These worries are unnecessary and do not contribute to your well-being or personal growth. Understand this and start living a fuller, more authentic life by focusing on those who truly matter. Truth number 3. Learn to prioritize the most important things. When you start paying more attention to what truly matters in your life, you realize that our brains have an incredible ability to protect us. However, they can also inflict one of the worst pains imaginable: regret. Our brains are highly adaptable, which is especially useful in tough times when you may feel overwhelmed and think, "This is too much, I don't know if I can handle it." And in those moments, whatever your belief, it's your mind, soul, and determination that truly help you carry on. You sought and received help, learned to understand how your brain works, and adapted to difficult situations to move forward. But there's an important point to remember. Your brain also deals with the important things in your life, and sometimes you may not realize how truly important they are. One day, when these things are no longer present, you may feel the worst pain: regret. This regret could be for not showing affection to your parents when you had the chance, for not hugging a friend, or for not telling someone how much you love them. Our brains adapt to both positive and negative experiences. This adaptive power helps us cope with pain, distress, and suffering without becoming overwhelmed. For example, we often forget moments that caused us great pain, and over time, these ugly, difficult memories start fading from our memory because we need to move forward with our lives. This capacity of our brain is incredible, but it can gradually lead us to undervalue what truly matters. For example, we often desire something, like a car, and when we finally acquire it, the joy is immense. However, as we get accustomed to the car and new problems or challenges arise, that initial joy fades away. This happens because our brains quickly adapt to this happiness, and soon, new challenges emerge. One of the greatest pains we can feel is the regret of not having done or said something important to the people we love. I bring this up to highlight how our brains often overlook what truly matters. We end up worrying about people who are not essential to us, and sometimes even about those who don't like us, while neglecting those who truly matter. Unknowingly, our brains adapt, and we fail to appreciate those who truly deserve our attention. This truth is for you to do something simple after watching this video. Take your phone and send a message to someone you genuinely care about. Let's prevent habit from causing us to forget to express our feelings and regret it later. If it's possible to value someone in your life and say, "I love you," then let's do it. Before we continue, I have a request. Could you like this video and leave a comment? Getting our video noticed can be challenging, so I need your help. It's just 2 clicks. Now, if you want to help even more, simply share this video with a friend who needs it. Also, comment on what topics you'd like to see here. Truth number 4, overcome resistance. There's a saying, "You only live once," which many know from a song. However, the Stoic view offers a different perspective. It's not that you live only once, but you only die once. You live every day. This thought is somewhat philosophical but very intriguing to consider. Many people fail to realize if they're truly taking charge of their own lives. They often act as passengers, living passively as if they're in an Uber, just going where life takes them without assuming any control. You might say, "I have to go there, take me," but many people go through life without really driving their own car. Without defining their own destiny, unaware that they're standing still, held back by fear of the unknown or rejection. Feeling safe can be the worst thing you can feel when you're not progressing. One of my favorite books that talks about this is The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. He talks about resistance. If you're not facing resistance in doing something, you're probably not growing. If nothing is making you uncomfortable or causing discomfort, then you're stuck in your comfort zone and likely regressing. There's no maintaining when you're standing still. Either you're evolving or regressing. How many times have you put something off until tomorrow? How many times, even knowing what you needed to do, have you said, "I'll start on Monday"? Today's already Tuesday, the week goes by fast. Oh, but Friday won't work, and definitely not Saturday or Sunday. I'll start on Monday. And then it never happens? We have a video on procrastination on the channel that you can watch after this and read the comments on how it's been helpful. And perhaps you think, "I'll watch it tomorrow," even though you know that continually putting things off is a problem for you. Often, this may seem like an excuse, but it can be a painful truth. People tend to delay everything. I know what I need to do, but it's better to start tomorrow. I know how to improve my life, but it's scary, so I prefer to stay as I am. I'd rather have someone else make decisions for me because if something goes wrong, I have someone to blame. But remember, you only die once, but you live every day. We can overcome our limits, not just by positive thinking, but by taking real action. If you know how to improve, if you need a promotion, if there's a course you need to take, if you can tidy up and organize your home, improve your relationships, why not start now? Don't wait to be a better person tomorrow when you can start being one today. Change begins with a step, and that step can be taken now. Truth number 5. Nothing is as costly as ignorance. This is one of the most important truths of this video. Nothing costs more than our ignorance. Losing or refusing to learn comes at a high price. And we pay that price when we close ourselves off to learning, choosing to maintain an attitude of arrogant certainty about everything in life. Recognizing that we don't know everything is the first step to learning more. Let me give you an easy-to-understand example. You've probably experienced romantic disappointment or relationship issues before, right? And it's very likely that after these experiences, you've changed how you approach romantic relationships. Now, you probably wouldn't make the same mistakes because you've gained experience and knowledge, even if learning this was painful. This learning process is similar to what happens in other areas of life. When we face challenges and learn from them, we grow. The difference between who you are today and who you want to become is knowledge. When you realize that to be or move from state A to state B, the bridge is the knowledge you don't yet possess, you're motivated to study what you truly enjoy learning. This step is crucial to propel your progress and help you achieve your goals. Think about successful people in any field. All these individuals study how to be better, invest their time, and dedicate themselves to improvement. They know more than you do about the subject because they've devoted themselves to learning and enhancing their skills. Nothing is as costly as our own ignorance. Even if you're not sure exactly which path to take, studying is always beneficial. Open your mind and explore different areas. Learn about different cultures, languages, and whatever interests you the most. Nothing is as costly as ignorance, and this applies to love or any other aspect of our lives. Sometimes, people confuse knowledge with experience. But it's important to recognize that experience can teach us a lot. Stay open to learning from those who have both experience and knowledge. Don't let ignorance hold you back. Always seek to learn more. Truth number 6. Not everything you feel should be taken seriously. This is a common phenomenon. When you feel extremely happy, it's like the world is celebrating. The grass is greener, birds sing more beautifully, and the sun shines brighter. Everything seems amazing. And when you're sad or angry, the day feels miserable, the world seems useless, and everyone you encounter appears to be in a bad mood. But in reality, the world remains the same. It's your emotions that have distorted your perception of the world. The world is unchanged. It's your perception that's different. This is crucial to understand. Our emotions can alter our perception, and what we feel doesn't always reflect reality. Often, our emotions distort reality so much that they end up harming us. The Stoics have a saying, "Never say or do anything that can take you out of the game." But what does this really mean? The game doesn't literally refer to a game. It signifies life situations. It's like scoring an own goal. An example of this is in romantic relationships, where emotions can be so intense that they distort reality to the point where you say or do something that leads to the breakup of your relationship. Not all emotions you experience should be taken seriously, and not all perspectives you hold at a given moment are correct. It's important to learn to control these emotions. Remember what the Stoics say, When you're emotional, whether positively or negatively, never say or do something that can take you out of the game. This is especially crucial to avoid losing friendships, relationships, or causing discord in social circles because of emotional impulsiveness. You need to learn to calm yourself, recognize your emotions, and transform them into reasoned feelings. How do you convert an emotion into a feeling? When you realize you're being emotional, whether overly joyful or sad and angry, pause and reflect on why. There are various exercises, like focusing on your breathing or drinking water, that can help slow down your emotions. The discussion on values, emotions, and personal development presented in the video is thought-provoking and insightful. The emphasis on the importance of aligning our choices with our values resonates deeply, highlighting how true happiness stems from authenticity and integrity in our actions. The notion that mediocrity is not merely about material achievements but also about the absence of values adds a nuanced perspective to personal growth. The video's exploration of emotions and their impact on perception underscores the need for emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Learning to differentiate between fleeting emotions and steadfast values can lead to more purposeful decision-making and healthier relationships. Moreover, the video's encouragement to challenge our beliefs and consider new perspectives is empowering. It invites viewers to reflect on their lives, question their actions, and strive for continual self-improvement. Overall, the video serves as a valuable reminder to prioritize values over superficial achievements, to embrace emotional awareness, and to embark on a journey of self-discovery and growth. It encourages viewers to cultivate a life of meaning and authenticity by making choices that align with their core principles.